Walt Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy. The Darling family lived on a quiet street in London. There were 3 children in the family: Wendy, John, and little Michael. The children had a nurse called Nana. Nana was a St. Bernard dog. Nana was a good nurse. She walked the children to school in the morning. She picked them up in the afternoon. Nana made sure the children ate their spinach at dinner. And all night she stayed by their beds. At bedtime, Wendy always told stories to her brothers. Her best story was about Peter Pan. Peter Pan lives in Neverland, she told them. It's a magical place where children never grow up. There are fairies in Neverland and wild animals and pirates too. One night, Mother and Father came in to say goodnight before a party. They found the boys in the middle of a noisy pirate fight. "Stop it at once," said Father. "You are too old to play pirates, and you are too old to have a nurse, too." Father put Nana on a leash. "Wendy," he said, "you have to look after your brothers, and no more stories." Father took Nana downstairs and tied her up in the yard. Then he and Mother went off to the party. Poor Nana, she was unhappy away from the children. Then, in through the bedroom window flew Peter Pan and the fairy Tinker Bell. Peter loved Wendy's stories. He hid outside the window every night and listened to them. Peter had heard what the father had said. "Come to Neverland with me," said Peter. "Wendy can tell stories to me and my friends, the Lost Boys. John and Michael can help me fight pirates." "Hooray," said John. "How will we get to Neverland?" he asked Wendy. "We will fly," said Peter, and he threw some fairy dust on the children. "Now think happy thoughts," said Peter. So the children did. In a twinkling, they were all floating up to the ceiling. "We're flying," they cried. Out the window, the children flew. "Follow me." "Follow me," called Peter Pan. "This way to Neverland." Down in the yard, Nana barked and barked, but no one heard her. Peter and the children flew, and they finally reached Neverland. They landed safely on a cloud, but right below them were pirates, Captain Hook and his mate, Mr. Smee. Captain Hook hated Peter Pan. He was always trying to capture Peter. He looked up and saw Peter in the cloud. "Now I've got you," shouted Captain Hook. "Mr. Smee, fire the cannon." The cannonball whizzed straight through the air and missed Peter and the children. "Whew, that was close," said John. "It is too dangerous here," said Peter. "Tink, you take the children to the Lost Boys, and I will keep an eye on Hook." John and Michael wanted to watch the pirates too, but Peter made them go with Tinker Bell. The children followed Tink to the home of Peter and the Lost Boys. They lived in a secret cave under an old oak tree. The Lost Boys did not have a mother, so they were very happy to see Wendy. When Peter got to the cave, he said, "3 cheers for Wendy, boys. She is going to tell us stories." "Hooray, hooray, hooray," cried the boys. But Tinker Bell did not say hooray. Tink felt left out. She tried to think of something mean to do to Wendy. She decided to go see Captain Hook. Tinker Bell told Captain Hook all about Wendy. "I can help you get rid of Wendy," said Captain Hook. "I will capture her and make her scrub the decks of my ship." Tinker Bell looked pleased. "There's just one thing," said Hook with a wicked smile. "I do not know where to find Wendy. You must show me where Peter lives." So Tink marked a path to the secret cave on Captain Hook's map. She did not guess that the pirate planned to capture Peter. At the cave, Wendy was telling stories. Peter and the Lost Boys wanted to hear every story she knew, but John and Michael began to miss their mother and father. Finally, Wendy said, "It's time to go home." "I don't want you to leave," cried Peter. He would not even say goodbye. Waving sadly, Wendy followed her brothers and the Lost Boys out of the cave. Tinker Bell was happy to see Wendy go. Outside the cave, the pirate crew was waiting. The men captured the children as they came out of the cave. Wendy and the boys were marched off to Captain Hook. "Blast you, Smee," said Hook when he saw the children. "You did not bring me Peter." Tinker Bell heard Captain Hook. Now she knew that Hook had tricked her. He only wanted to capture Peter Pan. Tink flew to tell Peter what had happened. Maybe Peter could save the children. The pirate took the children to the ship. Captain Hook said to the children, "You can all join up with me and be pirates, or you can walk the plank." Wendy was not afraid of Captain Hook. "I will never be a pirate," she cried. "Then you will be the first to walk the plank," said Hook. He tied Wendy's hands behind her back. Wendy bravely started to walk the plank. Then all of a sudden, Peter and Tinker Bell flew into the pirate ship. Peter and Tink quickly cut the ropes of the children. Then Peter and the children began to chase the pirates. Peter flew everywhere with his sword. What a fight there was! Most of the pirates jumped off the ship. Wendy and the boys cheered. The last pirate left was Captain Hook. Peter flew around him and around him. Captain Hook tried to catch Peter, but Peter was too fast for Captain Hook. Hook got dizzy and fell into the sea, right beside a hungry crocodile. Captain Hook swam for his life. "Ha ha ha," called Peter. Then Peter threw some fairy dust onto the children, and they all flew away. Peter flew back to London with Wendy, John, and Michael, and left them at their bedroom window. "Goodbye, Peter," cried the children. The next morning, Father let Nana come back into the house. The children were happy to see her, and they were happy to be home again. But they never forgot their trip to Neverland.